Richard Williamson. I'm an estate planning attorney. This is my 30th year as an attorney. So this video is informational. It's intended to let you know what the basics of estate planning are so that you can use that information either with us or with your own attorney, however you choose. The job of a successor trustee falls into 5 task groups. The first task group is to give all the proper notices. So we're avoiding the probate supervision of settling this trust, but there are rules on what has to happen, the administration of it, and one of the rules is to give notices to the people who are involved. So who gets notices? So a notice it's supposed to go to the State of California Medi-Cal Recovery Unit. If there's real estate involved in the trust, in the box, then a notice needs to go to the county recorder's office for wherever the property is located. A notice needs to go to the county tax assessor's office, which are different government agencies. And then notices need to go to all the named beneficiaries and the heirs at law. Now, the difference in those is if you have a trust, and let's just hypothetically say that there are 4 children, one of the children is estranged, haven't seen him or her in 10 or 20 years, but it is one of 4 children. And the trust specifically says, well, the estate goes in 3 equal shares to the 3 other children. Well, the notices that need to go out is a notice needs to go to each of the 3 named beneficiaries, but also to that 4th estranged child, because that child would be considered an heir at law. And there's all kinds of variables on this. You could have a child that passed away who's got children, they would be heirs at law, etc. That's determining who those notices need to go to might be a little more complicated than it would appear up front. So notices, the first job, task group of a successor trustee is to give the proper notices. The second task group is to marshal all the assets. All that means is figure out where everything's at. Where's their real estate? Is there a car? What accounts are in the trust? What accounts designate the trust as a beneficiary? Just marshal all the assets so you can take charge of the estate. Third task group is to open a trust administrative account. So the purpose of a trust administrative account is to receive funds, account for them, and eventually make distributions. So it's basically a checking account. So if you walk into a bank and ask for a trust administrative account, they're not going to know what you're talking about. But if you just walk in and say, I need to open a checking account in the name of the trust, they'll understand what you're talking about. So to open a trust administrative account, what's necessary is a copy of the trust, the death certificate for the person who's passed away, a trust tax ID number, which you get from the IRS, then your ID that proves you're the right person to open the account, and then an opening deposit. But with those things in hand, you would be able to open the trust administrative account. So first was give the proper notices. Second was marshal all the assets. Third is open the trust administrative account. Fourth is pay all the just debts. Now, just debts are not just things like a credit card bill or an ambulance bill, but it's also tax returns. Tax returns have to be filed for the person who passed away in most cases, so that is part of pay all the just debts. When all of these things are accomplished, then the last part of this is to make the distributions. That's the 5th task group. So again, give the notices, marshal the assets, open the trust administrative account, pay all the just debts, and then make the distributions. All right, so that's the task groups or the job of a trustee.